Let's go and jump to the video immediately. This is a suggestion via a channel member. We'll comment throughout. Let's do it.
Since mid-August, there have been multiple incidents at Nigerian airports where groups of Chinese nationals were deported. The Chinese individuals were separated by gender and escorted in batches by local authorities back to China. On August 21st, the spokesperson for Nigeria's anti-corruption agency reported that in collaboration with the Immigration Service, they had deported 102 foreign nationals since August 15th. Among them were 50 Chinese nationals who had committed crimes like cyber terrorism and fraud.
Yeah, most of the issues that you're going to experience specifically in countries like Nigeria, Angola, Rwanda, Uganda, it's going to be a lot of cyber stuff. It's going to be a lot of like pump and dump crypto scams and things like that. And there are some people that are coming from China that are going into these places and, in fact, utilizing their specific infrastructure to scam people around the world. That's the reality of the scenario here. But I would not say that's the reason why they're being deported. It's a little bit more social than that, guys.
Oyewale mentioned that authorities carried out a raid on Nigeria's largest cybercrime syndicate in Lagos, the nation's financial and economic hub. They arrested nearly 200 foreigners, including Tunisians and Chinese.
Yeah.
The Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, added that on August 17th, they had already deported 42 Chinese and Filipino nationals who had been arrested during last year's operations. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had arrested nearly 800 people in Lagos last year, among them 792 suspected cybercriminals. The building where they were arrested was identified as the headquarters of a Chinese-led criminal group. Of those arrested, at least 192 were foreign nationals, with 148 of them being Chinese citizens. The group allegedly operated cybercrime training centers, where they recruited and trained Nigerian youths in activities like romance scams and investment fraud. They would later lure victims into cryptocurrency schemes to steal money. Their main targets were Americans, Canadians, Mexicans, and Europeans. Reports mentioned that the local court had temporarily 73 properties and confiscated over 1,500 laptops from these Chinese nationals. In one of the training rooms, there were over 4,000 phones and more than 1,000 laptops spread across desks. Some computers still had open chat windows and scam message templates on the screens. The walls were covered in papers filled with communication tactics and traps for various types of victims. There were also over 3,000 SIM cards scattered around. Strangely, over 400 refrigerated boxes were also found in the room. After investigation, police discovered that these boxes were used to store the ill-gotten money from the scams. After establishing contact with victims, the scammer used pre-written scripts to build trust.
Bro, wait, hold on, wait. Let's go and read one of these.
The scams. After establishing...
Baby, you give me... Hold on, wait. Baby, you give me sudden, protracted cardiac arrhythmia every time I see you. Never say that. Like that doesn't even sound smooth, bro. It sounds terrible. You're so hot. You denature my proteins? Guys, what is going on with this, guys? This isn't it.
Contact with victims, the scammer used pre-written scripts to build...
Baby, every time I see you, my cardiovascular system gets all worked up. Bro, who did this work on?
Trust by sharing personal details and showing empathy. Once the victims trusted them, the scammers would create fake emergencies, like family illnesses or investment mistakes. Then they would ask for money, exploiting the victim's sympathy. The EFCC made it clear that while the masterminds behind the operation were foreigners, Chinese nationals played a significant role in the operational aspects of the scams. This crackdown is not limited to Nigeria. Interpol has also coordinated a transnational operation to combat cybercrime across Africa. On August 22nd, Interpol announced that during Operation Serengeti 2.0, law enforcement agencies from 18 African countries and the UK collaborated between June and August. They targeted various cybercrimes, including inheritance fraud, ransomware, and business email compromises. The operation led to the arrest of over 1,200 individuals and the recovery of over $97 million in illicit gains. Among those arrested were 60 Chinese nationals involved in 25 cryptocurrency mining centers. The victims totaled nearly 88,000 people. In Angola, authorities dismantled 25 cryptocurrency mining centers, where 60 Chinese nationals were conducting illegal mining to validate blockchain transactions and produce digital currency. Police seized equipment worth over 37 million US dollars, which the Angolan government plans to repurpose to boost power supply. In Zambia, a fraudulent high-return cryptocurrency investment scheme was destroyed by police. 15 people were arrested, and over 65,000 individuals were scammed, with a total loss of $300 million US. Police also seized evidence such as domain names, phone numbers, and bank accounts. During the operation, authorities also targeted a suspected human trafficking network. Additionally, in Ivory Coast, Interpol uncovered a transnational inheritance fraud case originating from Germany. Victims were tricked into paying fees for a fake inheritance, resulting in losses of around 1.6 million US.
Bro, who is falling for that? I seriously want to know who is falling for the Nigerian prince, Nigerian uncle, etc., etc. Who is falling for this here, guys? Right? Nigeria definitely is one of these places where you do not play around when it comes to any of these things, because think about this here. Their country, for the most part, large scale, is known for the Nigerian uncle or the Nigerian prince, right? They're known for that. So if you don't think that if you're walking around Nigeria with a cell phone in your hand, the police are not going to stop you, you're crazy, right? They call them Yahoo boys out there, right? They are absolutely, in fact, known for it, and they no longer want to be known for it. So please, listen, no matter of fact, hold on. If that is your thing, please go there, because you're going to get caught. I'm telling you this right now. Like, Nigeria does not play with this.
Based in Lyon, France, Interpol has 196 member countries. The first Serengeti operation last year led to the arrest of over 1,000 people and the identification of 35,000 victims. China and Africa have close relations, with many African countries acting as partners in China's Belt and Road Initiative. Between 2013 and 2023, China signed contracts worth over $700 billion with African nations. Due to this partnership, Chinese fraud syndicates have also expanded into Africa. As an important partner in the Belt and Road, Nigeria, Africa's most populous and economically powerful nation, has been involved in efforts to expel Chinese fraud groups. In January, Li Yong told foreign media that China's telecom fraud industry has spread globally following the Belt and Road. It's particularly severe in Myanmar, Cambodia, the Philippines, Dubai, and Nigeria. In February, the Philippines arrested members of a Chinese fraud syndicate. On February 21, 2025, the Philippine government, through its Anti-Organized Crime Commission, the police, and the Immigration Bureau, raided a building in the Manila metropolitan area. The building was suspected to be a hub for telecom fraud. Law enforcement arrested 453 individuals, including 146 foreigners, mostly Chinese nationals. A large number of computers, phones, and SIM cards were seized. The perpetrators were involved in offshore gambling and suspicious telecom fraud activities, primarily targeting Chinese and Indian nationals. The offshore gambling industry began emerging in the Philippines in 2016. However, many companies within the gambling sector were also involved in illegal activities, such as telecom fraud,
that's generally how it works.
Money laundering, and human trafficking. In response, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. announced a ban on online gambling centers last year. However, the head of the Philippine Anti-Organized Crime National Commission told AFP that despite the ban, approximately 20,000 Chinese nationals continue to operate small-scale online fraud activities. In recent years, online scams have run rampant across Southeast Asia. Many of these scam centers are led by Chinese individuals, and many of the victims forced into telecom fraud are also Chinese. Andrew Fu, the Chinese community public relations representative for the Malaysian Humanitarian Organization, stated in February that according to intelligence reports, over 99% of scam syndicates are run by Chinese nationals, with Chinese people deceiving other Chinese people and even scamming the world. Malaysian media such as The Star reported in February that the Malaysian police arrested 12 Chinese nationals and 2 local men. The mastermind of the fraud syndicate was a Chinese national who had purchased 8 luxury apartments in Kuala Lumpur. These apartments served as a base for scamming Chinese victims. 14 individuals were arrested during a police raid. Ramli Youssef of the Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department said that Chinese fraud groups had moved from the Philippines to Malaysia, using the proceeds from scams to buy luxury apartments. Besides the mastermind, the police also arrested a financial manager, customer service personnel, and drivers involved in the operation.
I guess my question here is that what's the next step here? I mean, yeah, you can arrest them, sure, great, but if you're just going to deport them, they're just going to then go to another country and do the same exact thing. And Africa, absolutely, in fact, as a continent, is a hotbed for this type of thing. Because think about it here, you're talking about low infrastructure in some places, obviously not Nigeria, but like low infrastructure in some places where you can just all you need is like Starlink, guys. And this is what they're doing with this type of thing. They're going out into the middle of literally nowhere on this planet to make as much money as humanly possible to funnel back to their home nation, to then get other people to do the same exact thing here, guys. This is absolutely diabolical. And yes, there are a good amount of Chinese nationals that are doing this here. I would definitely say that this started, like they started to care, specifically some of the African countries. I'm going to leave the link in the description here. I think we see where this is going here. But they decided to start caring when China decided to stop doing like very like specific loans, right? Like most of the countries, they wanted to kind of work off of like agricultural type of loans, but then still get the same amount of money. Then they realized that that was not going to be a thing, and then everyone turned on the Chinese. That's basically what happened here. But now here, the people that are actually kind of on the ground, the ones who are experiencing the people on a regular basis, they're the ones who are not getting anything. Even though China is giving these countries loans, the rulers of these countries are in fact not passing the wealth down. They're not building anything. They're just getting the loans and lining their pockets, and then they end up in Switzerland buying Vacherons or Richard Mills. You get what I'm saying here? That's what they do. All right, it's all just straight corruption, and obviously the people are not like specifically super happy about any of these things because they're not getting any benefit of this, but now they're experiencing a group of people who are coming into the country, not caring to learn their language or their culture at all, right? They're just there as permanent outsiders, guys. That's what they're experiencing. So the people are legitimately experiencing the worst of everything, and while the leaders are getting the best of everything because they have no communication or ties, let's say, to the people that are actually coming into the country. So we have issues here, all right? But all right, listen, I'm going to leave the link in the description if you guys do want to finish the video itself. It's kind of long here, but you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe, and in the meantime, I will catch you guys later.